Ladies and gentlemen, now with double final boss active at the moment, I know a lot of people are very keen to speed farm the bosses just so they can get the coins, buy everything they want to in the shop, and then just be done with it, man, because final boss Gowther is a real headache. So in today's video, I want to show you my speed farming strategy for both of the bosses, do a couple of runs on each one of them, and just show you like a very quick way of doing it. Again, this is going to be on how it's going to be on the hardest difficulty, so if you do have much less gear and ult levels, you might want to consider doing a lower difficulty, either extreme or the what is it, the hard version there. So yeah, first turn we're going to rush Escanor's ult, and then we're going to go for a Derriere swipe into Gowther here. Had a pretty good merger, but with using ult food and also Merlin on the sub, we can always get Escanor's ult turn 2. And then the plan here is we're going to move around a Derriere card, or maybe use one. Actually, we got a merger there, so we don't even need to worry about that. So this is a 3-turn KO strategy. It's very, very consistent for this. So we're going to, like, Escanor ult next turn, and then Derriere ult the turn after. Like, initially, when I was doing a little bit of testing, I brought in, like, Diana initially, and Lost Fate Meliodas, and I was like, I don't even need to, like, cleave the final phase, you know, if I'm just looking to speedrun, if I'm just looking to get the coins as quickly as possible, all you need are 2 very strong single-target ultimates. But as you can see there, with like the damage you deal on the first turn, plus Escanor's ult, there is a lot of overkill in that first phase. But the second phase is where you want Derry's ult, because Derriere's ult is like so much bigger in comparison to Escanor's. So you want to make sure as well you save the buff card and don't use it, because you're going to need that buff card to scale up the damage. So if we fire that off on Gowther, he's got, I believe, just under 400,000 hit points in this phase. And my Derriere, she's 6-6, so it's just an easy one-shot on the hell difficulty. So you can see, overall, man, it's a very quick, very easy KO there. So yeah, that's a pretty good time. Unfortunately, we didn't have a bigger attack disable there, so we couldn't follow up. If you are lucky and don't get attack disabled, or you can draw a second buff card, again, you can get even more damage output there on the final Gowther. So even if you do have like less gear and less ult levels, there's still ways to one bang him there. So I think we fire off this card, and then let's go for a Derriere swipe, and then I think we'll just chuck in a friggin' Jericho card as well. Yeah, why not, man? Let's go for it. I've got Jericho as well, because she increases the attack of both Escanor and Derriere by 10%. So yeah, just kind of make sure those ultimates hit a little bit harder there. And unfortunately, we haven't got another Derriere buff card. We still got opportunity to draw one, though. So yeah, there might be a little bit of a chance. But the tries, actually, as far as like best case scenario RNG can go, I think they've been like actually a little bit unlucky. So yeah, let's go for this, and let's move this card around. I think I'm just going to dump this Derriere one as well, just in hopes that we can draw another buff card. Because again, if we can get that silver buff on Derriere, then it's a whole other buff to scale up the amplify damage off the ult. So yeah, you got plenty of overkill there. But also in the final phase as well, even if you do have to eat a turn full of damage, then yeah, actually I think if you want to make sure in the final phase, if you are going for this strategy, that you have the damage to kill Gowther. But here is the perfect scenario, man. We can merge on Derriere here, and then just fire off the ult straight away. Let's have a look at the damage there. So that's about 500,000. So again, if you do have like lesser gear or lesser ult levels on Derriere, because mine is pretty much like the maximum that she can be, you might want to consider like doing the difficulty down just to make it a little bit easier, but kind of you know, judge based off your gear and experience, like which one you're going to be able to take out really, really easy. So yeah, that was a pretty damn good time, man. You can see the extreme version in the final phase has just under 300,000, and if you have a look at the hard mode version as well, you've got just over 200,000 there. But again, the health in the final phase is just under 400,000, so you got to make sure that you can consistently hit that. And yeah, most of the time you're going to have that second buff card that you can merge. So my one with the The merge buff card was hitting for just over 500,000 there. So even like a 3646 Derriere, as long as you do get that silver merger, you should be able to do it. Now, the really good thing about Final Boss King Hell is you can use Gowther for this one, because again, Final Boss Gowther, he's the final boss, so Gowther is restricted. So yeah, you've got Gowther upgrades here, man, and you're also not getting attack disabled as well. So this one is really, really straightforward. You can also use like Blue Liz on the front line. If you've got her like no equipment, no cosmetics, and she usually dies first turn, but it's not always the case. Like most of the time he'll do like double gold first turn, but again it's not all of the time, and when he doesn't do that she's not going to die first turn. So this one is a little bit more consistent in comparison, but yeah, here you just want to start off by rushing what is it, the green version of Escanor's ultimate. So if we go for this, we can get the ult straight away. And then turn 2, we use his ult, and then transition into next phase, and then we can upgrade Derriere and use, what is it, her ultimate as well. So yeah, I think next turn we probably go for the Derriere swipe first, just to get her buff. Again, the good thing about King as well is we don't get attack disabled here. So the only damage you're going to take is from the fire back on that first turn there. So if we go in for the swipe here, and then let's go for Escanor's ult. And then next turn we either want to merge the Derriere buff or go for an upgrade, and then we should be pretty good. I think you maybe have Derriere like left side on this one for a chance at what is it, a golden buff. But you can also throw out an additional card as well. And where we threw off the swipe last turn, we've already got one stack of her buff active. So already our ultimate's going to be hitting like much harder, man. It should be hopefully a pretty easy kill on King here. King does have about, it's almost 500,000 hit points. He's got a bit more than Gowther in comparison. Might be a little bit short here. Nah, 700,000, man. We are absolutely chilling. Again, the really good thing is that we have Gowther. So yeah, we get his passive as well, and that's just stacking up the damage even further. So yeah, that's a really, really good time. I'm going to actually try moving around Derriere and Escanor. I think with the way that the cards are drawing and being used, I think Derriere left side is maybe the best here. Because again, if we can like passively merge into a silver buff and then upgrade that, then you can get even more damage and even more reach on King. So I'm just trying to think that, you know, might be better for lesser geared players out there that have lower ult levels on Derriere. But we'll give it a go, man. See if we can get that glorious merger off the top. Okay, nice. We actually we have drawn it into it for next turn, man. So that is really, really good news. So let's go for this. Let's go for the slam. So move one Escanor card, use the 2, you're at 5 ult gauge. And then next turn, we are just gonna... Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. I think we just merge this, use this, Escanor ult. And this should be a lot more damage, man. I think we'll probably hit for about 1 million here. So again, this is going to get the points radar up a fair bit as well. Just move this card around. Actually, sorry, I wanted to move this. Yep, go for this, and then go for Escanor's ult. Right, perfect. Okay, nice. And again, there's plenty of overkill on the first phase. King really isn't like tanky in phase 1. And also, you do have the first turn to chip into in a fair bit. But yeah, green Escanor is crazy good for this fight as well, man. Probably one of the best damage-dealing alternatives if you don't have Derriere in general. Let's go for, now, upgrade on Derriere, straight into the golden buff. Let's make sure we target King here, and then chuck off the ult. And that should be the second run down. The runs, again, they do last for about, like, what is it? About 2 minutes during these speed runs. So, again, in comparison to using some of the top scoring teams, they can be anywhere between like 2 to 4 times as quick in comparison. So this is, again, if you don't want like a sweaty try hard run and you just want to very quickly get the boss down to score maximum points, because something to keep in mind as well is like the reward bracket on this final boss. Like I would say only the top 15% is kind of worth caring about, because the hammers and anvils are really nice. Like top 5%, if you can get it, is really nice to have as well. But even top 50% on both of the bosses, because the bracket rewards are exactly the same, is going to give you the 35 gems. So yeah, that's really what you need out of this final boss, man. Ideally, like the hammers and anvils are really good. Again, this stuff is nice as well, but it's not like the biggest difference in terms of rewards. This is a couple of lucky times in the what is it, Fort Solgras, and also a couple of lucky draws in Trading Cave as well. So, you know, you don't need to get too sweaty over top 5%. Just get a good team that kind of gets you in, like, the top 10, top 15% region. And then I would say speed farm it, because, again, there's a lot of stuff that you do need to buy in the coin shop. Loads of demon materials, cosmetics, equipment engraving stones, hammers, all that good stuff. So, yeah, hopefully today's video, you know, helps you speed farm both of the final bosses, and hopefully it gave you a bit of an insight as to what strategies I'm using to quickly get all of the coins for both of the bosses. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy today's video, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.